Welcome to Bouchard Finlayson Estate. I am Peter Finlayson and I've been in the valley 30 years. The property and the label carries my name, so I guess as winemaker I've been very fortunate in being able to contribute to this valley now and been on this property for 20 years. This property was bought in 1989 and the first wine was made here in 1991. And to give you an idea, the land that we're standing on was pure scrub farming. None of this has all been developed in a 20-year period. The link up with Paul Bouchard from Burgundy took place in 1990, and we managed to produce our own wines in 1993. From a winemaking point of view, I have absolutely no desire to work or live in a wine factory. So I've totally regard myself as playing a sport in winemaking, and I say that everybody who drinks and enjoys a glass of the wines that I make is a spectator, and what you really want to ensure is that they want to come and look at your game a second time. So there's that analogy of being on the playing field each vintage. It's you're playing the game. People say, but isn't wine an art? Isn't not a creative enjoyment? And I say no, it's a sport, because if you're on the playing field you've got 90 minutes to play your game. Well, we've got really the harvest in which to play our game, and there's no turning back, there's no tearing up of the canvas. You've got to work with what you've got, and in that sense you have to tackle it as it's presented and get through the work, considering that in the harvest time you are in fact collecting and processing everything that you've got the rest of the year to rework and relook at. Our main focus at Bouchard Finlayson has been working with Pinot Noir grape. For some reason this little valley seems to perform really well with Pinot Noir, and it's quite unusual in the context of South African grape growing. The property is situated in the Himalaya Valley. Considering that in the Himalaya area we are 3 wards. You first of all have the lower area, which is the Himalaya Valley, and then they have the middle ward, which is Himalaya Upper, and then beyond that is Himalaya Ridge. The valley has over the last 20 years taken certainly the most honours in terms of Pinot Noir success in South Africa. One's got to ask why. I think it's a combination of 2 things. I think it's firstly very heavy clay soils, which provide a fairly restricting growth strength in the Pinot Noir vine, with a combination of a very soft climate, oceanic influenced climate. So the cold ocean, which runs past Amanus, which is not probably as the crow flies about 4 or 5 kilometers away, certainly prevents us from getting those hot days which you would suffer in other Western Cape wine growing regions. My approach to red wine making is that wood is an integral part of red wine making, and particularly with Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir does want that aspect of good wood maturation. We use only French oak, and the style of the barrel is, in my mind, in the hands of the cooper. So my instruction to the cooper is, please give me the barrel, what I call your house toast, or whatever you're producing for Burgundian producers. And all our barrels come from one producer in Burgundy, in Nuits St. George. And on that basis I feel confident that the cooper is also happy to know that each year he will get the order. It makes a big difference, I think, in terms of how he selects and approaches our business, because he's guaranteed the business. So I'm not one that chases around Allier or Trancé or Limousin. It's, to my mind, the barrel maker can print whatever name he wants on the barrel, but it's important that one gets wood that's really well weathered and barrels that are made according to the area where the grape comes from. So for the Pinot Noir, we anticipate roughly 30% new first fill barrels each year. But we also make a Pinot Noir, which is barrel selection called Tête de Cuvée, and for that it's nearly 100% new wood. So wood is very important. We also apply 3 of our Chardonnays to wood maturation, and there we use anything from 25 to 30% new wood. And our Chardonnay limited edition is 50% new wood. So wood's expensive, but if you neglect it at your peril. But finally, the truth in winemaking rests in the palate of the winemaker, and what you take to bottle is really about taste and balance. We specialize in Pinot Noir, and we're proud to say that I think we are leaders in Pinot Noir in South Africa, but we do have a selection of other varieties, and particularly 4 different Chardonnays to choose from. We make Sauvignon Blanc, and we make a white wine called Blanc de Mer. And we welcome anybody to our tasting room and to visit us and share in the experience of enjoying a glass or 2 of wine with us. We are in the Walker Bay area, which is 120 kilometers from Cape Town. Climate is beautiful, and particularly if you come in the months of August, September, October, we have wonderful whale watching from the cliffs of Hermanus and great restaurants.